Can you describe what Yugntruf is?
Yeah, so Yugntruf means call to Yiddish, call to youth in Yiddish. I'm speaking too fast. And it's an organization of people from a diverse background, mostly young people, but we really say the young and the young at heart. And people who just want to get together and speak Yiddish and find ways to use Yiddish in the world and create a space for Yiddish to exist. My timing was very fortunate. And 2007, the board, who were people mostly in their 40s and 50s, resigned and handed over the reins to a group of people who at that point were 16 to 25 years old. We jokingly call it the youth coup. It wasn't a coup. It was a mutually agreed transfer. It really did help my Yiddish, help being one of 7 or 8 people participating in a 2-hour-long meeting about very detailed things and budgets and Yiddish. And it felt very surreal because here I was, being 19 years old, speaking a language that 3 years later I thought was old but dead, with a bunch of young people talking about actuary tables and doing it in Yiddish. It was, I had several moments that year. I felt like I fell into a little parallel universe. They're a very warm and welcoming group of people. I meet someone and you start speaking Yiddish. It's like you've known them for 5 years, and they just kind of trust you. And I've had that experience throughout the Yiddish-speaking world, even with many Hasidic Jews. But that was very welcoming to me, and I made a lot of friends. And once I had friends, it just became a natural thing. We spoke in Yiddish, and I took the train into New York, once a month or so, and that was it. It just became a normal thing, and I described this to people. I'd say, "Oh, I have Yiddish-speaking friends." They assume I, met, Holocaust survivors that I had befriended at an old age home or something. I mean, no, this one's in high school and this one's starting college, and it was a very interesting time for me because I was just away from home for the first time, and I'm discovering this new world I didn't know, and also trying to make sense of the Jewish community at Hillel, as well as make sense of just general college life. So it was a time where I felt like I could really blend into new communities, and because of that, I fit in real well for a variety of reasons, the main one just being people finishing college and getting jobs. The number of people on our board kept shrinking and shrinking. And I ended up, now we're down to 3 people. We desperately need to expand it again starting next year. But in the beginning, it was 9, 10 people. And we organized, our main event is Yidish-Vokh, which is Yiddish Week. It's a week of volunteer-led programming in an encampment at a resort. Sounds wrong, but it's kind of a Jewish retreat center is a better term. It's now outside of Baltimore. Originally, we were in New York State in 2 different places, and we have people from all over the world come. People in their 20s and 30s are our main demographic that we target, as well as their kids, but also people in their 90s, people in their 50s and 60s. The children of the people running the organization now, the people in their 20s and 30s now, all come. And it feels like a small town. People are very friendly. It's, you start to, once your Yiddish is good enough, you start to forget you're speaking Yiddish, because it would just be like, I imagine it would be like what a Catskill type resort was like in the types of things, except it's a bit more intellectual. There are a lot of, lectures on the history of a Jewish museum in Lithuania in 1945 to 1947, but you also get yoga and tango and knitting and stuff like that. Sports were a big part of it. Where we are now, there isn't as much room for athletics, but I remember having a really good time explaining the rules of baseball to someone from Russia in Yiddish, and realizing I didn't have words for any of that stuff. What do I call this? What's an outfielder in Yiddish? Der was hat der Ball weiter raus wie die Menschen was stehen bei die Basis. I mean, what do you even say? So we had a lot of fun with things like that.